You have failed your team.
Welcome to The Know. I'm Brian.
I'm Jen.
You thought it was bad for Activision after the Diablo announcement. Well, it just got a lot worse. They had an earnings report and a call with shareholders yesterday. Immediately their stock price dropped, and it was even worse this time, 11%. That's on top of the beating it took for Diablo Immortal. Over the last month, by my count, it is down more than 19%. That is pretty bad.
That's bad. That is borderline tanking, and especially if you look at what the trend was leading up to this, it was pretty stable. It's not like there was already some kind of downward spiral.
They have called out one of their biggest games, Destiny 2, for underperforming. Apparently, Black Ops 4's sales have not been what investors wanted. Hearthstone's numbers are down. Overall, their monthly average players are down. Not a good look if you're a gaming company.
Definitely not. And I think we've reached kind of a point with games where we say, oh, there's too many games, and people say, well, there's not too many games. It means you have more choices. But this is kind of what comes out of that from the industry side, is that there's only so much time people can put in a game, so they make choices what they're going to play and what they're not going to play.
That's right.
And you're going to lose some of your player base, even some of your core people at some point, or you're going to lose them to things like Red Dead Redemption 2 that just came out.
And I also feel like games have a lot more replay value, or they're just deeper with more side quests, more DLC now. So it is, I feel it. Whenever I go home, I have like multiple games to choose. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to hit Red Dead? Am I going to hit this? A lot of nights I just end up getting drunk and playing a game on my phone, and then I feel bad about myself. But they are really feeling a lot of competition from Red Dead Redemption 2 and Fortnite.
Yes.
You know, still, I think the leader in terms of battle royale games, and I'm sure Black Ops 4 has taken away some of that audience, but obviously not all.
Yeah, I think the other thing you have to think about with things like Fortnite is that is a free-to-play game. Like you have your microtransactions, but you're trying to have all these games that people need to pay for and pay like this big chunk of. It's like, here's $40 for this expansion, here's $60 for this base game. When you can just jump into Fortnite and say, cool, I'm here, and maybe I'll pay a buck or two here or there for these extra things.
Right. If it's free, then I think a lot of people don't have a problem with paying a few bucks for a skin or something like that. So why did Activision drop so much yesterday? Well, a lot of it is because it seems like they came in terms of their revenue this quarter, but their predictions for the next quarter are lower than what analysts wanted. They predict they're going to make $3.05 billion next quarter. Analysts wanted 3.06, and when that happens, your stock's going to go down.
Yeah, when you start looking at the numbers next year, you're like, okay, 0.05 or 0.06, but when you're talking billions, that is an extreme amount.
It's real money.
Yes.
Yeah. In terms of their games, Black Ops 4, it debuted obviously last month, but by some estimates, it sold 8.3 million units in its first 3 days. Good, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of games. Analysts were expecting 10 million. So maybe there's a little bit of a letdown. They also specifically called out Destiny 2 for underperforming. COO Cody Johnson said it didn't achieve our commercial expectations. Then he gave a really disheartening quote in terms of what they have planned for the future of Destiny. Johnson said, some of our other franchises like Destiny are not performing as well as we'd like, and we're working to accelerate the pace of live operations innovation and improve the speed with which we release new content to keep our players engaged and to provide new opportunities for monetization. So this is a mistake, I think, on their part, because if you are losing players, what they're saying is, we're going to monetize the ones we have. Now, I know they're releasing Destiny 2 for free on I think it's free on PC right now. It was free on PS Plus. But I don't think the solution is to keep shaking down the players that are left. I think that will lead to more people leaving.
Yeah, it is. From the business side, I get the shareholders like, you need to get more money, and that's the model, that's the avenue they have for it. But when you're essentially punishing your loyal players that have stayed in there, that are your core base, and it's not encouraging. You need to do things to encourage the new people to come in and put some money into it, rather than shaking down everybody who already exists.
Well, and you know, even if you get Destiny 2 for free right now, if you want to play the latest expansion, Forsaken, which is good, I like it, and the players like it. The players, I think, are happy right now. But you have to buy the other 2 expansions to be able to play Forsaken. So you're going to pay at least $60, if not more, for all those expansions. They're doing the same thing with Hearthstone. They say that their player count is down. The monthly active users declined. Fans didn't feel like the Boomsday project didn't do enough to shake up the metagame. That's because they're right, it didn't. They think they've got a new expansion coming out, Rastakan's Rumble. They think it's going to shake up the meta. It probably will. But again, with new expansions coming out, speaking as a Hearthstone player, it gets a little overwhelming. Like every 3 months, you've got to, spend a bunch of money on new card packs. And I'm sure it makes a lot of money for them, but if their numbers are going down, to me, that is an indication that fans are saying no. Yeah. Or maybe I've just had enough and I'll move on to something else.
I think you're accelerating your own attrition problem. If in order to stay competitive and stay relevant to the game, every few months you're having to shell out a not insignificant portion of money to stay up to date on it.
$70.
Yeah, it's you're gonna keep some people who are like, yes, I will do this constantly. But if you have your semi-casual and more casual players, it's like this is not worth keeping up on this, and you're gonna kind of force them out.
Well, and I think they're caught between shareholders who want more and more and more money, and fans who are like, "Whoa, wait, we feel like we feel over monetized. We feel a little like we're not getting the content and the games that we're used to." And I think that was a lot of the backlash with Diablo Immortal. But I feel like if you keep listening to your shareholders, you're going to kill the golden goose. You're going to drive fans away. And I don't think it's rocket science. I think the solution is make better games, and fans will come. Make good games. Blizzard knows how to make good games, or they used to.
Yeah. Snap, you're throwing shade over here. No, I think that when you look at indies, they're a great example of you can make good games without sacrificing all of these other things necessarily, that you can do it without monetizing and microtransactioning the heck out of things, and that you can do it without sacrificing some of your quality, and you can make a good game. It is not rocket science that the money will come if you make a good game.
And I know it takes a lot of work, and I know that just getting that $60 isn't enough for some publishers anymore, but I look at a game like Stardew Valley, great game.
Absolutely.
Happy to pay for it. And then he keeps adding more to it. Shovel Knight, my God, they've been updating that for years now, and no DLC, no microtransactions. I just feel like, it's just like refreshing in a way. Like, I forgot that this kind of game exists. Just some numbers to throw at you. Speaking of the monthly player count, Blizzard's monthly player count went down from 352 million to 345 million quarter over quarter. So it's about 7 million. Blizzard's held steady, 37 million, but King, that's another company they own, that's Candy Crush Saga, all that, they dropped from 270 million to 262 million. So not great. And speaking of microtransactions, they said they predict they will make more than $4 billion in revenue this year from in-game purchases. That is more than half of their overall revenue. That's more than half of the total pie.
Yeah, that is incredible. And it's one of those things where just like those couple bucks here and there do really add up literally to $4 billion.
Yeah, and it's like we've said before, microtransactions, they're not a side business, they are the business. This is the majority of how they make their money, and that is the model now. Let's put this game out, let's get a big fan base, and then, shovel microtransactions at them. It's that games as a service model. To me, that's a bummer that they're looking to do more of that in Destiny, especially when I feel like they've gotten the game to a good place. Just leave it alone. Just
put it out in the world
and just let fans be happy. Don't monetize the shit out of them at all times. You can leave money on the table.
If you let people enjoy the thing as it is for long enough, then at some point, the fans will want those things that you're offering in microtransactions. If you're just like, here's this thing, also here's this, and here's this, and here's this, and you got to pay for this, and you pay for this, and it's like, and it's just, can I just do the thing? Can I just like this right now?
And guess what? If they like your game, they'll probably want to buy your next game.
Exactly.
You know, not everybody has to play a game for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
You
If you burn everybody out on this one right here, you're losing them for all those things that you have coming down later.
I think that's a great point. You know, we'll see what happens. I think, but I do think that this is an example of maybe there's some fan exhaustion with this model, and you know, it'll be interesting to see if they listen to those fans or listen to their investors. But I think you have to listen to your fans over investors, because I think fans are ultimately the ones who buy your products. They're going to be the ones to keep you in business. Investors are annoying lenders.
Investors are a dude at a desk with a spreadsheet, and there's only so much you see from numbers.
Well, and it's like, yes, maybe it's not growing at the level you want, but guess what? If you keep pushing, it's going to go down to zero.
Yeah, it is truly an investment, and you're investing in your players as much as you are in the game, and you're investing in their longevity with you.
Yeah. So we will see what happens in the future. That's all we've got now on Activision's latest troubles. It seems to be getting worse and worse. We'll see how it shakes out going into next year. That's all we got for now. Have a great weekend, you guys. And be sure to tell us what you think about this in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And have a good weekend. Hit up our website, theknow.tv.
Bye.